question for you, Coach. How do you think your guys did today?
I thought we wrestled well. It's one of those things where we're wrestling a team that really isn't as good as us, so it's hard to tell sometimes. But I thought if you watched how we went through things and how we controlled the pace of the match, I thought we wrestled pretty well. I was pretty happy with. You're in a conference, you get a win for the first conference. At that score, you're pretty happy with it.
And control, like you said, was pretty much the word. You guys were the aggressors in
Yeah.
pretty much all the matches you had.
Yep.
So, how happy were you as far as the level of aggression?
I was happy with the way they controlled ties, the way they were getting shots. They had a plan. You could tell they're working on their hand fighting. It's almost like they're taking a team and trying to teach them. Where we were working through the hand fighting, scoring points when we attempted, which is a good thing.
And I just recently talked to Caleb last week before the match today. He said he was feeling a lot better. Feeling a lot more aggressive. Getting that 16-0 tech fall today. Do you think he's really feeling a lot better than he was earlier in the season?
He's one of those guys. Caleb's one of those guys that has to feel real good to wrestle well. The problem is that you might not always feel well during the year. You might have to go to the MAC tournament being sick, and we're going to expect you to wrestle well. So that's the one issue I have with Caleb. But he wrestled well. I was real happy with how he performed today.
And Tyler Small, he was in that match earlier today. He was kind of dealing with some tricky situations there, but he got out of it and got the pin today. How did you feel he did?
That's his match. When you wrestle that way, you're gonna lose to a guy like Tyler Small if you wrestle that way. If you stay really solid and you're really basic, you can beat a guy like Tyler. But the problem is he forces matches to go that way and he ends up winning most of them.
Did you see anything from guys specifically or in general today? You might think we still need to work on a few areas.
I think at 125, he's a second-year guy. He out-wrestled a fifth-year senior. He ends up losing because he doesn't have gas. Whatever his issue was in the third period, that's just being tough and mentally not. He broke. He mentally broke, and the kid ended up winning the match. And it's one thing to get taken down with 20 seconds or 30 seconds, but to tie the match up, you better get away. And he went in that third period not to lose, and he lost. And you can't wrestle that way.
And you were telling me, Buffalo's obviously in kind of like the rebuilding phase right now. Do you think that was kind of a nice way to kind of start out your MAC competition, kind of ease into
it was a great way to start our MAC competition, just so we can kind of work our way into it. I think next we have Old Dominion, and they just got upset by Eastern Michigan. So if you look at the progression, we could be wrestling each MAC team, and they could be better and better as we go along. So, like I said, I think our next step is to get our guys ready or through finals, because they have finals next week. Keep them focused and have a good match against Old Dominion.
Just kind of the last thing for me too. Tyler obviously came back today. Had a pretty decent match. How do you feel like he was looking out there as far as
he's
his
so
condition?
smart. That stuff's going to come. I'm not worried about the conditioning. I'm not worried about anything with him. He wrestled really smart, and he's going to win a lot of matches because of how smart he is. And there's certain things you can't teach kids. They either know or they're smart enough to figure out. He's one of those guys, and as the season goes on and the more matches he gets, he's going to get better, and better. It's kind of the same thing with Cole Baxter. Some of these guys are just, even Mac McGuire, they're smart kids and they wrestle smart, and as the year goes on, they're going to get better, and as long as they continue to wrestle smart, they're going to be in good shape. A guy like Mimo and a guy like Alfredo, they need to get smarter in the wrestling terms, just like in life. Most of the stuff that we do and we see, it's a reflection of their life. To lose a match in the last, to control the match and then to lose in the very end like that, it's like his life almost. It's pretty much his life. He has to tighten everything up, and I think his wrestling will tighten up when that time comes around too.
Okay. 3 consecutive pins in a MAC duel. I don't know if I've seen that.
Well, we are better than them in those positions, and that's going to happen. I just think those are 3 of our better guys too. So, we're going to win a lot of dual meets, winning 33, 41, 49, 57, 65. I think we're going to have to. Even 74, 84. We have to win those matches if we're going to win. I think we're young at top and young at the bottom, being 97 heavyweight, being 25. And for us to be successful, our 41, 49, 57, 74, 84 need to come through for our team.
So Tyler, I wanted to talk to you because you had that match where you kind of found yourself in some sticky situations, but you were able to get out of it and get the pin. So how are you kind of able to work out of that and get the pin, the takedown, and then the pin at the end of the match there?
Just my wrestling. My wrestling is a lot of scrambles, sticky situations, getting out of them, getting into them, sometimes putting myself into them to get out of them. But when you're in those situations, it's just, I feel real comfortable in a lot of those spots. So I know where to put pressure, where to take away pressure, and it's just a place where I feel comfortable. So I'm able
in the
to
back of your mind, did you kind of feel that you were eventually going to get in that that dominant position there at the end? Did you kind of know, kind of anticipating that was going to happen, or?
I mean, when I was on bottom starting the second period, and I was kind of scrambling. Once I think I had his leg kind of scrambling around. Once I had his leg, and he was still. The only thing he did that gave me that cradle was he was still trying to maintain position, so that allowed me to lock up the cradle.
And you guys, you had tons of pins today. Dominant win, 38-3 over Buffalo. How do you feel like you guys have been progressing so far this season? Being a young team, especially.
Yeah, we have a lot of young guys in this team. I think I'm the oldest one on the team as a junior, which is probably saying something, or at least in the starting lineup. So as the weeks go on, we'll all get better. We'll learn from our mistakes since we're a young team. We'll have a lot of mistakes, but the key thing is just learning from the mistakes and being able to capitalize on them.
And as you guys kind of play these tougher MAC teams, do you guys think you have a pretty good combination? Going from you to DePalma to Miller. Do you think just that order of wrestling? Do you think it'll help you guys in the long run?
Oh yeah, I think our whole lineup, the whole way through. Like if everyone's wrestling their best throughout our whole lineup, we'll be a real dominant team. We'll be the best team in the MAC. But the key is getting everyone wrestling their best on the same day. And we almost had that today. I mean, our 125 Alfredo, he had a tough match, tough loss, but he was close. If everyone's wrestling their best on the same day, you can see almost what you saw today.
All right, thank you.